Hi, good evening, everyone, once again. And we are back with our webinar series. And on popular demand, we have Jayashri with us once again. You all must be remembering her from the level one trainings where she did a beautiful session with us. And right now, she is a certified level one trainer. She has proved herself, and now she is ready to teach us all about Google Sheets, which is required to get certified onto level 2. So I'm going to hand over to Jayashri, and we look forward to one complete hour of some amazing stuff from you, Jayashri. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Dipti ma'am. A very good evening to everyone, those who have joined. And I really, before I start with my session, I really want to thank Dipti ma'am for giving me such a wonderful opportunity. I also want to thank Reshma ma'am and Vishal sir for all the learning from them because they have taken so many sessions for us, and that is the reason we are here today. So thank you so much. Without taking much of your time, I would like to start with my presentation. Give me 1 minute. I'm just sharing my screen. Kajal ma'am, I hope my screen is visible. Okay, thank you so much. So before we start, I am going to give you a practical demonstration of all the features and all the topics which we are needed and which are looking for level 2. So before I start with that, I will start a little bit introduction about the topics and the things which we are going to cover in today's session. So let's have a look on that. Yes, Google Sheets. Google Sheets, I think that as an educator, it is really, really very helpful for us. And not only for educators, it is helpful in all and each and every area. Nowadays, we have a lot of data which we need to analyze. And for that, Google Sheet is a tool which helps us to analyze data in fruitful way. We are doing so many surveys, and whenever we have to collect this data and we have to analyze in a way, Google Sheets really helps us because Google Sheets had so many features and functions. Like suppose I want to analyze the data for the students, I can view it in the help with the help of colorful charts and graphs. There are different built-in formulas also in Google Sheets, like we can use pivot tables, we can do conditional formatting, and all these features really save our time and simplify our work. Now, let's have a look on the topics which we are going to cover today and which are needed for level 2 certification. So in Google Sheets basically create, edit and share chart in graph in Google Sheets. That is all we are going to do. And each one of us know it in basic form, but we will be doing some advanced features into it. Like we know how to create chart, we know basic column chart, pie chart. But today we are going to learn more about radar chart. We are also going to see a timeline chart, which is also called as bubble chart. I will also take you through how to create a pivot table to analyze large data. We are also going to see some functions, how to use them practically. Sort and filter, each one of us know that is covered already in the last session. We also know count and sum, but today we are going to learn about count if and sum if. If we want to give some condition and we want to apply these functions, how to do that, that I will be taking you through. We are also going to revise sum and unique features. Next, I will be helping you all with a filter tool, and there are different filter views. So we'll just have a look on that. I will also take you through a conditional formatting, which really displays data in an efficient way. We are also going to see sparklines, and we will see how to share and track students' progress with the help of Google Sheets. Now, I will just give you a brief orientation of the things which we are going to cover. This is a Google tool that is Google Sheet, and in which we are going to learn about a filter tool. So each one of us know that. I will take you through a practical demonstration. There are different filter views available. Like suppose many people are working on one sheet and somebody applies some feature. I want to look at towards the data in a different way, and somebody else is doing some other filter or applying some other filter. So we have filter views which we can save, and when we come to the next time when we are using this particular sheet, we are ready with all the filters which we have applied prior. So this is something about filter views. We are also going to see about how to create radar chart and spider chart. Now, this radar chart is also called as spider chart, or it is also known as web chart. The reason behind it, you can see it on my screen, that it looks something like a web. It looks like a spider web. So it is also called as radar or spider, or it may also known as web chart. So we'll just see how to use it. Then we have mini chart or sparkline charts. As you can see on screen, it is something which will look like this. I will help you out and I will show you how to use that too. Then we have timeline chart, which is also called as bubble chart. Whenever we have to create some timelines or something, we will be using these types of chart. And this is mostly the question which is asked in the level 2, as Reshma ma'am has already instructed us. Then this is again a bubble chart. The most important feature of Google Sheet, which we are going to learn today, is pivot tables. Now, these tables are really very helpful when we have a huge amount of data. Large amount of data is there and we want to analyze it in a different way. Like we have a big database or spreadsheet, or which has a huge collection of data into it, and we want to look at the summaries, or we need to include some sums, we need to find out some averages in that. So pivot table is the one which really helps us, and we can see the data which is there in a big form. We can analyze it into groups and we can see it in a meaningful way. So this is about the pivot table. Today, I'm going to also take you through the functions, as I said, countif and sumif. So we will be looking at it into a practical way. So I'll just stop my presentation and we will just go to a data. So I have a data sheet which is ready. We will be looking at each and every feature one by one as discussed now. So to start with, I would like to start with sort and filter. Now the word itself explains that sort and filter we have seen last time also. Suppose I have a data. Now I have taken a very small amount of data to visualize it and to show it you in a better way. But this sort and filter is helpful when we have a big amount of data. For example, I have this table which is ready where I have written the names of the students. I have listed down with a Google form. I did a survey and I have a data which is listed here, the type of food these children are having, and then I have categorized them whether it is a healthy food or junk food. Now what do I want? I want to categorize, I want to sort this data in a different way. Like for example, whenever you want to use sort or filter, first thing you need to select a date. Okay, so I have completed the first thing. I have completed first part by selecting. I will go here in data and you can see there is a, already you can find it out that data sorting is given over here. You can sort data in ascending and descending order by any of the column. So it's better always to select sort range option. As I have already helped you out and discussed in the last session, that whenever we select sorting, this particular window pops up in front of us. So we have to tick on this so that whatever headers are there, that are considered, and then we can sort it by the way we want. Like I can sort it by name, I can sort it by food type, I can even sort it by healthy or junk. So first I am just sorting it by name and I am arranging it in ascending or descending order. Okay, so the way I want, I can just select ascending or descending and click on sort. So you can see automatically the complete data is sorted. Okay, this is all about sort. Now we can even sort data in different way. This we all know. For example, I want to sort it in different way. I'm just going here and I will just sort it. Click on the sort. We will just go to format first. Like conditional formatting, I will take you through in the next this thing. We will just go to the filter option now. Suppose I want to filter out data. Filtering means whatever required set data will not be visible to you. Suppose I have just selected it and this is all about filter. You can click on this and click on create filter. Once you click on create filter, you get these 3 lines on each and every column. Okay, so whichever column you want to apply feature or apply filter, you just need to click on that. So what we will do, we will just apply filter over here. We will categorize. I just want to have food which is healthy food in front of me, so I'll just click here. You have option, you can do it by values from here. I will just remove this junk and then okay. So automatically the names of the students, the type of the food and the healthy food which is there as per the filter which I have applied is in front of me. This way we can apply. Suppose I want to have a junk food again in front of me, so I can just change it over here and I can do it. So this way I can apply filter and sort. So sorting is rearranging of data. Filtering is removing the unwanted text and just whatever text is required that will be visible. Removing doesn't mean that the data gets deleted. It is already there, but you are just visualizing the data which is required. So this is all about sort and filter. To remove, you just need to click over here one more time and all data is visible. Now let's move towards the conditional formatting. Now what do you mean by conditional formatting? We are formatting data, we are rearranging data, but we are putting some conditions there. So it is nothing but conditional formatting. Now how to do that? Just select the data where you want to apply conditional formatting. Go to format and you will find option called as conditional formatting. Just remember, sorting and filtering is available in data tab, and even if we forget, it is super easy. We just need to click on the tabs, just switch on and understand where you will find it. So conditional formatting is available in format tab. Just click on conditional formatting. As soon as you click on conditional formatting, you will get this conditional format rules available on the right hand side. Now, what is this rule all about? Here, the data selected range will appear. You can even change that range or you can select by clicking over here. I have already selected it. Next step, which is really important, is format rules. Now, what does this format rules means? Suppose I am applying the condition over here. With the help of these rules, I will be categorizing the data. For example, just click on this drop down and you will get different options like the text that contains, text that starts, and text that ends. Text is exactly. So depending on the conditions, you can apply over here. Now I want to apply text that contains. So as soon as you select the rule which you want to apply, it will give you one more box over here where you need to write the value. So I want to write a value, I want to apply here. So I want to write the value like healthy. I'm just writing the text. As soon as I write healthy, you can see automatically that text is highlighted with some color, so that it gives me a visual representation that these particular cells are coming into this category. I can change the color. This is a default color. You can go over here and you can change whichever color you want from here. So it's up to you which color you want to give and you can just select the color. Once the formatting is done, you can click on done. Now you must be thinking, I also want to do this junk which is there. I want to categorize it into different color. Like junk is not something good, so we can categorize it into red color or something. So again, do the same thing. Or you can simply go here and there is an option called as add another rule. So with the same set of data, you are adding another rule. How to do it? Just click on this. Again, the cell range is selected automatically. Go over here and apply a rule, whichever you want to apply. So I'm again taking text that contains. This time I'm giving value junk. And then you can change color as per your requirement. And then just click on done. So now you can see that the data is formatted and whatever the category or whatever the condition was given by you, it is completely visible in front of you. This is called as conditional formatting and we can apply different colors to it. Now this was done with only two colors. We are just applying rules and we are using it. Now something when you want to apply a series of the color, when you want to give a levels of color, how to do that? Before we move with this data to know that if you have applied some conditional formatting and you want to remove it. So it's again very easy. You just go here and just click on this icon. It will automatically remove the rule. Same goes over here. So this way you can remove the formatting which you have applied. It is very, very easy. Again, you select the data where you want to apply. Same way, go to format, select on conditional formatting. And now you can see we have seen in this data type, we have seen how to apply a single color. Now I want to go to color scale, which is a different scale. So suppose I am just clicking on it, we will understand. As I click on color scale, it gives me automatically the things which are available here. The values which are given are categorized into different color scales. As you can see, the lower values are highlighted more, and then slowly, steadily, the values like 100, these numbers are very, very, very light, because whenever we are analyzing students' progress or students' marks, we need to focus more on the students, those who are coming into this category or those who are scoring less. We need to give much attention to them. So this color scale really helps us to analyze it. What we can do is we can even change the color, as I have told you. We can even set this minimum values and this midpoint and maximum point if we have a data which is very huge and we want to decide key. Suppose minimum value is 30, then the child needs to really work hard. If it is 40, the child needs to do what steps. So if you want to decide on this, you can again decide. Just click on number. You can give automatically it is coming 40. Then you can decide again on the number. You can change it. It shows me 89. Maximum value will be automatically 100, as we can see. You can change color for each and every value. Suppose you want to categorize the lower value into red color, because we need to give more attention to them. If you want these midpoints to be into different color, you can just select the color and you can see it, and let it be this maximum point, let it be as it is. So you can use different color range, color scale for formatting, and it is much useful when we are analyzing the test scores of the students. So I hope this second one, conditional formatting, must be clear to you all. Once we are done with sort and filter, we are done with conditional formatting. Now in level 2, we also need to work on something called as sparkline chart. Let's see what it is all about. I'm just closing this and go to the next topic, sparkline charts. Now, as the word itself, it says that sparkline chart. We have learned in previous session different charts like column chart, what is bar chart, what is pie chart. We all know that and we use it regularly. But this sparkline chart is again very, very helpful when you are analyzing a data, like as you can see on my screen. Here, the names of the students of my class are reflected, and as an educator, we need to understand the progress level of the students. So we are taking tests for that. We have snap test 1, snap test 2, snap test 3, and snap test 4. Okay, so I have just taken this data, the percentage, the marks which the students have scored in various snap tests. Now I want to visualize for particular student whether the progress graph is going up or it is coming down. So sparkline charts are really very, very helpful in that case. So let's see how to use it. It is very, very easy. Just whenever we are using any formula or something, as we all know, we have to add equal to sign. So we'll again start with equal to. We are using sparkline. Sparkline is a single chart which you can see here on my screen. It comes into a single cell. Okay, this is small rectangle box. It will give you a representation of entire test scores for particular students in a single cell. It will appear in single cell. So let's see. We are just writing the name sparkline. It comes automatically when you write. Whenever we are writing any function or formula, we need to use this bracket. Now, you all must have noticed one thing, like whenever we are adding any formula or function, the Google is very, very intelligent. It gives us all the things handy. So we don't need to remember anything. We don't need to mug up anything, because everything will automatically reflected. We just need to see, even if we forget ki अरे sparkline कैसे use करते हैं, we don't know, automatically you can just write sparkline and it will reflect the complete formula. Let's see how to use it now. Whenever formula is applied, we know equal to name of the function, this bracket, and the next step, which is important, we have to select the range of the data. So as I'm doing it in the second cell, I'm selecting data for Avni. Just select the range, automatically the range will reflect. Okay. Once the range is reflected now, what is next step? Just give one comma. Now, once the comma is given, what do you need to write? You are using a sparkline, you have close it. You can see it automatically gives me this. You can change the color from here, whichever color you want, you can take it from here, and that color, the line will be visible. Now you can see about as per the progress level of the child. Here it is 78, it is up, then slowly steadily it is going down. Somewhere it is 40, it goes much down here, and again it is 50, so it is little increasing. So it gives us really a very quick visual representation for a particular student. Now, once you have applied formula, you know very well, you just need to drag it down and automatically it will be applied for all other data. So this way, you can even change the color. The formatting part can be taken care as per the requirement. So this way, these spark lines, which are actually giving us the representation of each and every student. Here I can see very well the progress graph is going down. Here I can see it is going down. So we can look into that and we can help out the child or the students accordingly. This is all about now sparkline chart. As you must have noticed here I have taken the names of the student, and the data which I have is all the columns you can see all are about snap test. So it is a similar kind of data on which I am applying this sparkline. What if I want to do the comparison? I want to check on the data which is little different, not a similar kind of data. So let's see. There we have bar sparkline, which represents the differentiation between two types of data like this. Now, for example, here you can see I have some club names which are listed. In that particular club, how many number of males are associated and how many number of females are associated, that numbers are reflected over here. So as you can see here in the first example, when we use a sparkline, automatically it gives me the reflection that 29, it is for the first column. So the number of males in robotic clubs are more and females are little less in that. Suppose I change the value, automatically it will take and it will reflect. Suppose I'm making it 29 over here and suppose I'm making it 5 over here. You can see automatically it changes. Let's see how to use it. Again, equal to, write down sparkline. Use a bracket. Again, it will be reflected as it is. Just use this range. Now here you have to mention the chart type, as we are using different type of chart. So we can just put a comma. As you can see, it gives me the ready formula here. Even if I don't remember, I can just go ahead. I can use a curly bracket. Just use double quote and write down chart type. Double quote is completed. Then you will have to write down. You can see the formula here. It is completely visible on the screen. Then you can just put a comma. Now here you need to mention which type of chart it is. I'm writing it bar chart. And then you can complete this curly bracket. Then you are completing the next bracket, because this is the first bracket which you started and that will be the last one to end. If you are starting any bracket in between, that needs to be closed first. Okay, just press enter and automatically you will get a bar sparkline over here. Same with this, again just drag it and check it for all other data. So this is sparkline chart, which comes in a line form when you have a similar kind of data. When you have a different kind of data, you can use a bar sparkline. And it is really very easy and to understand, as it comes in a small single cell. So I hope these three things are very clear. Sort and filter, conditional formatting, sparkline charts. Moving ahead, we have another important type of chart that is called as radar chart. Now, I have also explained you that radar chart is also called as spider chart or web chart. The reason behind it, it looks like a web. Now, you all know web, whenever the spider starts creating a web, it is like something, it goes in a circle form, it has a center point, and then it keeps on increasing the area. Same, whenever you are comparing a data with different, you have a huge data, I have very less data over here. Whenever you are comparing data, you can use this radar chart in your company, or suppose you are you have your own company, you have different departments there, you have some budget allocated to them, and you want to know what is the difference, how the actual budget was given and how the spending was done. So what you can do is, again select the data, click on the chart. By default, as we all know, by default it will give us the column chart. So it's again very easy. Just click on the chart type and drop down menu of this. You will find all other charts listed over here. Just scroll down, line chart, area chart, then you have bar chart, pie chart. So if you go down now, you must have noticed that the radar chart, you can't find name over here. So where exactly is that? These charts you will find in this other category. Even if you don't remember, just scroll your cursor like this and you will find automatically where is radar chart. So this is the radar chart. Just click on it and automatically it will give you the representation. You can see it has axis points, which is x-axis and y-axis, and you can see it is moving into a circle. It has a center point as per the data which is given here. You can see the values which are mentioned, automatically it starts the range 0, 10, 20, and the maximum value is 40. So it has started 40 over here. If we increase again, the one more circle will appear, and so on and so on. So this way it automatically builds. You can see blue color lines shows the allocated budget and red one shows the actual amount which is spent. You can see now automatically this is a range, this is highest range, and this is the starting point. So depending on that starting point, you can see each individual department is listed over here, like sales, marketing, development, customer service, IT, administration. So depending on the budget allocated and depending on the expenditure or the actual spending is done, these lines are coming. Okay? The red one shows the actual amount which is spent. Now in IT, you can see the maximum amount is 40 and completely it was spent 40. So it is almost touching to the end of the circle. In other departments, you can see it is not exactly there. You can see over here customer service, it goes 35. So in customer service, if you go here, you can see that it is touching over here. And the actual amount was given this much. Here there is no difference between these two lines, but here there is little difference as the amount is different. 35 was given and 30 is spent. Same goes for other data. Like you can see marketing is here. You can see it was a 15 and the spending amount was 14. So little gap is there because there is only 1% gap is there. Same goes for all other departments, and it gives us a very visual representation. Now, as you can see, you can do some changes. You can click on switch rows and column, the visual representation of it will change. You can try it out. You can see switching on, switching off, these rows and columns. So you can change the representation of a data. You can see the series is changed over here. So depending on your requirement, you can have this modification done over here. So this is all about radar chart. Now, if you want to remove this, you don't want it, you can just click over here and just delete it. Okay, so this is all about radar chart, which is again a very important part of level 2 examination. Next type of chart, as you can see here, it is a bubble chart or timeline chart. Now, whenever we have some things lined up and we are going to create a timeline, so timeline charts really is very important and it gives us a visual representation. Let's see how to do that. Again, select the data, go to chart. Again, as we all know, by default it will give us this, so you just need to change the type, go down. Now this bubble chart or timeline chart is available in the category called as scatter chart. You can see, bring your cursor and automatically it will reflect you the name. Just click on it. Now as you can see here automatically this data is reflected. But whenever you are creating a bubble chart or timeline chart, you need to make sure, suppose here you can see I have action, I have dates written here, but whenever you have data you need to use a third column which is compulsory. You can, for your understanding, you can consider it as your priority. Now as you can see, there are different dates, and on that particular date whatever actions I need to do, I have set that priority over here. This is nothing but this is just for placing these bubbles on the different places. Okay, this is not that we want everything, all the bubbles scattered together, and it will be difficult for us to understand. So you can create this as per your priority. You can create this third column and you can write the priority which you want to set. So for this 10/12, this is a date. For this date, I want my first priority to be given to proposal writing. So it will be reflected this way. And it gives me the complete idea about my timeline which I need to follow to complete all these actions. So this way we can create our daily or weekly timeline charts, and we can keep it handy to understand it in a better way. And we can even use it for students also. Whatever task they need to complete, we can give them this timeline chart and they can do it this way. So this is again the another chart which is really important for level 2. Okay, so moving ahead, these are two charts which we have covered. Now we have covered Sparkline also. Now the other very important part of level 2 is called as functions. Okay, so the basic functions each one of us know. Suppose I want to do some calculation. I want to calculate average, I want to calculate sum, I want to do some minimum and maximum values that we have already seen, that everyone knows automatically. We have done it in level 1. Now here what are we doing? We are using same functions. Like we know count. If you remember, count is something. If I use count function over here, let's see how it works. Equal to, I'm not using COUNTIF, I'm just using count to revise it. I'm giving this bracket and I'm just selecting the range. Okay, this range is selected. I'm just completing the bracket and I'm entering over here. It gives me automatically the count of the data which is available here. यहाँ से जब मैंने किया तो how many number of cells are filled, it gives me that count. But what if I want to give some condition and I want to use a different function that is called as count if. You all understand that if word itself tells us that we are giving some condition there. So let's see what we want to do here. For example, if you see this data, it shows here the part number. Suppose we all know now, whenever you go to market or whenever you go to grocery store or medical store, you are asking for something. Then the person looks into the computer, checks whether the availability of that particular medicine or that particular thing which you want to purchase is available in the store or not. How does it happen? It happens this way only. For example, I have these different numbers of parts. Okay, suppose I have a manufacturing company and I have different parts of that particular product, and I want to know how much part number 123 whatever it is there available in my store. How much amount of parts are available which has number 240. So we are giving condition and we will be using COUNTIF function there. Let's see how to use it. Again we will be writing. See, I have done one mistake over here. I have not given equal to sign. So whenever we are using function, just give equal to first, then write count if. Again, we have to give the condition. Now in count if, we have to first select the range. Whenever these three steps are same for everything, whenever you are using any function, equal to name of the function and the bracket. Now I'm just selecting the range over here. Okay, once you selected the range, you have to give a comma and you have to give the condition. Now you can give, I want to locate something which is part number 123. Okay, so I'll just give double quote. I will write equal to 123 and I will just close it, and again the last time close the bracket and press enter. As you can see, it gives me 6 number, and if you just check on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, I have 6 parts which has number 123 are available in my store. So this way I can use COUNTIF function to know availability of the different parts. As we all know, we don't need to do it for all other parts. We can just scroll it down, and it is automatically filled for entire data. So as you can see, it automatically shows us when we are using it, when that particular part will go on reducing. You must be thinking ki ma'am, here also it is 123, how come it is showing 1? When I checked it at this particular range, that time all these parts were not available. It will keep on reducing this part. When you go down, automatically the part which are available of that same number will go on reducing. And this way you can know the details of the parts which are available. This is all about COUNTIF. Now, there is one more function called as SUMIF, which is really very interesting. Now, if you want to only do the sum, just select the data and you have sum function, go over here. Suppose you want to calculate sum over here, equal to, write sum, bracket. We will write it here, it's not coming. Just let me remove it. We will write it here, equal to sum in bracket. I'm just selecting the range. If I want to only do the total, it's very easy. Just use the formula and automatically you will get the total. So this way you can get it. But I don't want only the sum. I want to give some conditions and then I want to find out the addition or the total of the amount. For example, you can see here different options are listed, like how much amount of money I have spent in coffee, newspaper, taxi. All these things are listed over here, and the amount of money which is spent. Now I want to apply a condition. I want to know in total how much amount of money I have spent on coffee or on newspaper. Okay, let's see how to do it. We will just cross check also. As usual, write equal to sign. Write the name of the function, that is sum. If itself denotes that we are applying some condition, so use the sign. Now as you can see, it automatically gives us the condition over here. I am just selecting the range. Now this time you have to select a range which is very important. You are selecting two types of range when you are using SUMIF function. First is a criteria and second is sum range. Now criteria is what on which you are applying. Suppose I am applying criteria over here. I want to know about coffee. So I will just select this range first, put this sign, and now I want to mention the name of the criteria. The name of the criteria is I want to know the sum of the amount which is spent on coffee. Okay, just complete this equal to sign. Again, just give this comma and select the range which is the sum range from where you want to find out the sum. Once it is done, complete the bracket and just press enter. You can see it gives me the amount 25. To cross check, you can see here 10 rupees and here it is 15 rupees. So total it becomes 25 rupees. Same way you can find it out for newspaper, taxi individually. Now, what if I want to find out it for different things, like I want to know how much amount of money is spent for coffee as well as taxi. I want to count it together. So what to do in that case? Let's see, it is again very easy. Equal to SUMIF bracket. Now, as usually, we know that we have to first select the criteria range, comma, then in double quotes, we have to write down the criteria. So when we are adding two or more things Hello, Kajal ma'am, am I there? Extremely sorry, I lost my connection and I continued. I was not aware that I'm not there on StreamYard. So I'll just try it again. And I will just share my screen one more time. Extremely sorry, I lost my connection and did not recognize that I'm not on this StreamYard. Is my screen visible, Kajal ma'am? Okay, thank you so much. Now, as I was talking about, I just explain it again for myself. I was not aware ki you all are not there connected with me. Let's see, I was talking about this SUMIF function, which is where I want to add two criterias together and I want to know what is a total amount of money which was spent on coffee as well as taxi together. Let's see how to do it. Equal to SUMIF function, bracket, we will select the criteria range, then comma, and we have to write down the criteria. Suppose it is again coffee. Again, once it is done, now we will be selecting the range, which is a sum range, and complete the bracket. Now, whenever you want to add criteria, it is very easy. Just use a plus sign. Okay. Once you use a plus sign, no need to write the formula again. Just copy it. Copy the same formula and just paste it and change the criteria over here. Instead of coffee, I want to take taxi also. So just write it down. Once the formula is done, just press enter. Now, as you can see, it gives me the value 60 over here. If you calculate total amount of coffee which was spent is 25 rupees, and you can see taxi here it is 20 plus 15. So again it goes 35. So total amount which was spent on taxi and coffee together, it is 60. If you want to add again one more, it is same, very easy. Control C, you just write plus sign over here, put the same criteria and change over here. Now instead of taxi, suppose I am adding newspaper. Just press enter. It gives me 65 now. So this way you can add, this is very small amount of data, but if you have a huge amount of data, it will be really very helpful. So this way you can use SUMIF function. Next, very, very important part, which each one of us needs to know very well, and which is important part of level 2 also, that is pivot tables. Now, these pivot tables are really very important when you want to analyze a big data, which is very huge data. Like we all know nowadays, we all are there after the COVID vaccines. So this is just a representation. This is not a actual values. To make you understand, I have just taken some values over here. You can see these are the different dates on which the vaccination in Maharashtra in different cities was done. You can see data very well. Here the names of the city is listed. Then there are three types of vaccines which were done, which were given to the people. Here I have the number listed for Covishield. I have number for Covaxin and Sputnik. So these are the different three vaccinations which were done in different cities of Maharashtra and on different dates. Now, if I want to just know about Covishield, how it was done in particular city, like Nasik mein kitna hua tha, how it was done in Nanded, how much total amount was done in Nandurbar. So it will be difficult for me to see and calculate. Whenever we have such type of data, then we can use pivot table, which really helps us to analyze it very well mannered way. See how to do that. Just select the data. First thing again, as usual, this is again very less amount of data which I have taken. You will have to go to data and we have an option called as pivot tables. Just click on it. Now, when you click on the pivot table option, if you know the basic things, you will be able to use it in different way, the way you want data to be visualized. Now, for first thing, select data, go to data option and select pivot table. Now, once you click, it will give you two options, whether you want it in the same sheet or you want it to be into a different sheet in this particular file only. So what I am selecting the existing sheet so that we all can understand it in a better way. Once you select it this way, existing seat, it will ask you to select the range also, where exactly from where you want it to be displayed, which cell. So we'll have to just click on any cell. It automatically takes the range and click on OK. Then click on create. Yes. Now for the first time when you create it, it will only give you this much. So you should not think, ma'am, there is nothing like only rows and values are available. What to do with this? So it gives us the full freedom. The way we want data to be visualized, we can do it. For example, when I have entered this pivot table, you can see on the right hand side, I get this pivot table editor, which is there in front of me. What can I do? I can put my criterias and I can put my conditions to know the data. So what I want, basically, I want to know how much amount of Covishield vaccination is done in Maharashtra in different states. So I want that to be displayed. So if you understand it well, in rows, I should be able to see different vaccinations which are done or different cities which are available. Just see over here, I'm just writing how much total vaccination of Covishield is done in entire Maharashtra. So I will just write row. Here I am taking the name of the city. Okay, all the cities are available here. Now you must have seen Nasik. Nasik date wise it is repeated so many times. It is not taking it that many times. It shows only once whatever number of cities are there. Now once this is done, whatever you will select from this category, it will be available here. You can arrange it in ascending or descending way, the way you want. Okay, next part which comes is again a column. Column is something, suppose you want to display something in this area, you want something to be displayed, but I don't want that. I just want to know what is a total vaccination done in Covishield. So I will not go to column, I will go to values because I want to know the numbers. Just click on add values and select Covishield from here. Now, as you have seen, as soon as I selected Covishield, it gives me the total number, how much is done in Ahmednagar, how much is done in Akola, and total grand total is also available. If you have noticed here, automatically by default it shows sum, but you can click on the drop down, you can find count, you can find average, you can find product, minimum, maximum, whatever way you want, you can change the functions from here. Here it gives you the default. You can change this, but we are not going into detail of that. So this is something which I can see visualize very well. By looking at this data, it becomes very difficult. But if I see, I can see it very well. Ki this much amount of vaccination is done for Covishield. Let's see. I want to know for same for Covaxin and Sputnik also. How to do that? Just click here. Automatically this editor will appear. Now I just want to add more values. Okay, so I will just again click. Make sure whenever you are adding, it is a value. If you are adding value, if you are adding row, you need to make sure that you are clicking on the add button in front of that particular category. So I'm just clicking on values. Now I'm selecting Covaxin. Automatically I get the details of Covaxin. Again, if I want it for this also, I can go again add values and I can select this. Automatically it gives me, you can see, it gives me the complete idea how much vaccination was done in Maharashtra for different cities on different criteria, different ways. It is already visible here, different vaccination types. Now, if I want to know this way, if you can see this data clearly, it gives me some of the Covishields done in complete Maharashtra. Okay, here it gives me for Covaxin, here it gives me for Sputnik. Now, what if I want to know ki how much amount of total vaccination done, no matter which type of vaccination it is, but I want to know ki how much was done in Ahmednagar, how much was done in Akola. So what can I do? I can again add one more level there. Just go to values, add one more criteria and select total. You can see it gives me the total and it gives me the complete grand total also. So this is all about pivot tables. If you understand the things, the column, the row, and the way you want the data, that is very clear in front of you, then you can use these features from here. You can edit it the way you want and it is really very handy for us. This is the type of pivot table. Now here it is, I have taken this example because it becomes very easy for us to understand. Now I have one more example in which you have a huge amount of data. Okay, I have some client names over here. We will see one more example of pivot table to understand it in a better way. I have clients listed here. I have some project types here, and how much hours total spent, how much build amount, the rate, everything is over here. So I have little bigger data than this. Again, we will be just selecting it. Same way, go to data, click on pivot tables. Again, I'm taking it into existing sheet only. The reason behind taking it into existing sheet, we can compare it here itself. Then I'm just selecting the range where I want it to be displayed. For example, I'm selecting this. Okay, create. Again, as we have seen there, it will show us only these many fields. I need to find out the build amount and hour rate for the different project types. Okay, so if I want to, I need to keep in mind the criteria very clear. If I want to go it by project type, then the row should have a project type. If my main criteria is client name, then I should select in row the client name type. So I'm selecting project type. I will again go here in rows, click on add, select project type. Automatically different project types are listed here. Now I want to know in this particular project how much total amount is spent, how much total amount of hours were spent. See, you can see video creation. This particular client has spent 22 hours. Then if we go down here, it is 29. But I don't want to look it client wise. I want to know into total. So what will I do again? Again, I will go for values. I will select. I want to know hours spent. And you can see automatically the total hours spent in coaching are in front of me. Same goes for other projects. Now I want to know the total amount spent. Again, go here. No need to add any column. Just add values. I'm just adding build amount. And automatically it gives us me the total build amount. Again, I want to know the hourly rate. It is as simple as that. Just go over here. Make sure when you are adding, it looks something like this. We have to make sure that we are adding a content in values only. So I'm just selecting, I wanted amount build or hourly rate. Okay, so it will keep on adding, it will keep on giving me the data the way I want. And automatically the grand total appears. If you don't need it, you can delete it. So this way you can use pivot tables. These are the two examples. I hope this must be very clear to all of you how to use pivot tables. This is all which we need in level 2. To summarize it, we will just see. We have learned how to use sort and filter. We know how to do the conditional formatting. We also know how to understand and see the progress of a child over a time. We can use this sparkline if we have a same type of data. If we have different type of data, we can use this bar sparkline. Then we know radar chart also. We also know how to create timeline and bubble chart. We know functions like count, sum, we already know, but we have seen countif and sumif function and how we can add different conditions in sumif if we want to give different criteria. Then the next important feature was pivot tables, and that also I think we have covered. So this is all about which I wanted to explain you all. These are the topics which we need to practice for level 2. So I hope I would have given my best and you all might have understood it well. May I stop presenting, Dipti ma'am? So this was all about from my side. We have covered almost all the topics, and I want that I hope you all might have understood it well.
It was phenomenal, Jayashree.
Thank you so much,
It
Dipti
was
ma'am.
totally phenomenal. You, as usual, clear, concise, and so good to listen to. I mean, pivot table is something which was everybody was feeling scared. कि level 2 में pivot table कैसे होगा? You made it appear so simple. I think all of us in this group who are attending level 2 will pass it just because the way you taught us. Amazing. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here and listening to our colleague and friend, Jayashree. And she, as usual, did a fantastic job today. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in, and bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Dipti ma'am.